So hello, we have Scott Gould here. He's an engagement expert and author of The Shape of Engagement. So Scott, could you maybe explain a bit about yourself and tell us about your story and how you ended up here?
I'm a speaker. I talk about engagement, quelle surprise. And that journey started when I was a young man. I was always just quite curious. I did a range of different jobs. One of the main things I did was I was a church minister. I was a pastor, like a priest, you know. And so I learned a lot about what engages people like really deep down, like religion. And so then I began taking that into business context and found that it was actually really good to apply some of those practices.
And so how have your experiences with engagement evolved over the years then?
You know, I think I just get convinced more and more over time that it really is all about people. And that the way that we approach people, whether they're customers or users or team members or citizens, should be that we approach our friends, right? We should approach people as humans, not as just some, invisible persona.
So is this how we kind of get to engage people more and more, or is there any other attribute that you'd like to address?
Well, the psychology seems to indicate that people engage with things and brands and products and apps and companies the same way they engage with each other, which is we scatter, gather, matter. It's the same thing like a conversation. You scatter out some questions, people gather with a response where there's commonality, and then you matter by kind of sealing the relationship, and then when you come back, you don't start in the same place, you start somewhere else. And that's the same process that we engage with no matter what it's with.
But are there any potential downsides to such practices?
Yeah, there's a downside to engagement, which is you can't stay shallow if you engage, right? And actually, sometimes it's convenient to be shallow. Sometimes it's better to just stay in the shallows, sell things with commodities, lower your prices, but if you want to go deep, you need to engage.
And maybe a few insights from your workshop that you'd like to address?
The workshop, we looked particularly at the idea that the brain creates a pattern of expectation. So if we want to engage people, we've got to puncture that pattern, break through the pattern. So that's a lot of what we looked at, and we used examples and looked at the stimuli that helps that happen.
Okay, thank you very much, Scott. It was a pleasure for meeting you and talking about your thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me in Tallinn.